You can't start the car. Johnny has the keys.
The Stuffs.
The Stuffs.
Mm-hmm.
Have you watched anything?
No, I mean,
We had to watch a lot just for this week.
yeah,
I'm watching that Capote
nothing
versus
else.
the Swans. I told you last night.
Yeah.
Amazing. It's just crazy to see that many stellar actresses in like a scene.
Yeah.
And I mean, even people, the ones that I would not consider in that category, like maybe Molly Ringwald, are great.
Mm-hmm.
Chloe Sevigny is really good in it too. You're used to seeing her be a bitch, and she's actually the nice one in this. So she's playing against typecasting, I guess. And Callista is playing Lee Radswell, and that's Jackie Onassis' sister. So she looks like a Kennedy. And Diane Lane just looks like Kathleen Turner. Like when Kathleen Turner was still thin.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's got that, or Lauren Bacall, sort of a cross between the two.
Okay. I can see that. Yeah, but the week of the 15th, you come back on the 15th, that's a Monday. So we could still do Tuesday or Thursday that week, at least one that week, if you wanted to.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I'm beginning to think that we may have to do as many as we can, because I don't know how the fuck I'm going to do with this recovery shit. I was talking to Dennis about it last night. I'm like, how the fuck am I going to take a shower if I can't put weight on one foot?
Right.
I mean, I can get in the shower with my crutches, but then what am I going to do to like lather up and hose off? I mean, you're going to be using support to stand up.
Yep.
I mean, I guess I could probably use just one crutch, maybe. I don't know. I will only bathe every other day, and I will make Dennis bathe me. Bathe me.
Bathe me now. I'll have to get you one of those little tubs with the little door that you can open, and you get in and you sit down and you close the little door.
I do have a seat in my shower, but it's very small.
Yeah. Well, you might need a bigger one.
I might need one of those walk-in showers like old folks need.
That's what I'm saying. It's a walk-in tub with a little door on it.
Oh, I mean, most of them don't have a door. I think you just walk in. The second season of The Bear is one of the things I'm watching. It's great. But I can't remember what the other thing was.
Okay.
Oh, I'm rereading The Shining. I told you that.
You told me that?
And that's surprising, because it's amazing how much a film like Kubrick's can imprint on your brain. And then you go back and reread the book and you're like, wow, this is really different. It's different, but the same. Like, he took a lot of elements from it, but there's things in the book that I had forgotten, like how they all discover the place is haunted or whatever by themselves, Jack in the bar or Danny in the room. Well, and Wendy in the hallway. Well, in this one, Wendy discovers it with them, because they hear the elevator going up and down, and she's like freaking out because there's not supposed to be anybody in there, but Danny's already been attacked supposedly. So she's worried that somebody might be in there, and Jack's just like, oh, it's a short circuit. And they're walking down the hall, and she's like, really, Jack? Is this a fucking short circuit? And the hallway is like filled with confetti and balloons and stuff. And I had forgotten all about that. And the hedge animals, of course, all the hedge animal scenes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And they have the yellow jacket scene, or the hornet nest scene as well. But it's a really good book, but I sometimes think maybe that Kubrick made it better.
Well, examining him, I always used to say, even if you don't like the movies, like Barry Lyndon is not everybody's cup of tea. Neither is Full Metal Jacket. Eyes Wide Shut bothered some people. No matter what it is, there are at least 2 to a dozen images or scenes from each of his films that
Just
you
imprint.
cannot get out of your head.
Yeah.
He has spent years saying, this is the perfect look for this. This is the perfect shot for this scene or for this moment or whatever. And it's endemic. It's amazing in his movies. I mean, Hitchcock is a great filmmaker, but he doesn't have this cinematic eye that Kubrick did.
He does sometimes.
He does sometimes, but Kubrick in every movie, like, I think throws your expectations off so that it registers and stays in your long-term memory. Like that opening shot in Clockwork that just starts with his eye and just keeps pulling back so freaking slow forever during that monologue. You can't forget it. It's like, oh my God.
But I can think of 3 Hitchcocks right now. Strangers on a Train, where you see like the murder reflected in someone's glasses that are lying on the grass.
Yeah.
And then you've got Psycho, of course, the shower scene. But North by Northwest, the airplane scene and the Mount Rushmore scene.
Or Mount Rushmore.
Yeah. Yep. So, I mean, I think Hitchcock's just as talented. I just don't think he indulged, I guess, as long as something like his were quick shots, whereas Kubrick does long shots. Yeah.
I think Hitchcock did shock and suspense. Kubrick does, I want to get inside your psyche and make you think you're watching something or try to rationalize why you're watching something. So, anyway.
But it makes me, now that I'm rereading it. Yeah, I know. I think this is my 3rd time reading it, I'm pretty sure. But now it makes me want to do redux of the movie.
Interesting.
I mean, and it is one of the second season's ones that doesn't have video, so it would probably be something we could do
easily.
Yeah,
and maybe even reference the sequel.
Dr. Sleep. Oh, absolutely, because it had not come out. I don't think had it by the time we did it.
Not when we did The Shining.
Yeah, I don't think it had. I mean, we've covered it since, but
yeah. Okay. All right. Here.
I'm ready.
I'll count us in, and then I do the welcome.
Okay.
3, 2,
1. I watched Taylor Swift last night.
Yeah, and did you like it? I mean,
well, I only watched half of it because it's 3.5 hours long.
Okay,
I was like, are you kidding me? They released this in theaters and it's 3.5 hours long? That's like Gone with the Wind.
I heard she did a good show. I mean,
so far it's been great. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
I mean, she's no Dave Grohl or whoever.
Well, when I saw Foo Fighters, they played for 3.5 hours too.
Well, there
yeah, they did at least 25 songs. No, she is no Dave Grohl. But I mean,
no.
I think they're both of a certain caliber. They're both good people.
Yeah.
Probably philanthropists.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And activists. And hopefully she garners her fan base for the election this year. That would be awesome.
Yeah. Well, and I think that they're the kind of philanthropists that don't necessarily have to have people know about it. Mm-hmm. Although it did leak out about her giving the bonuses to all those truck drivers.
Right. The Christmas bonuses. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have I done Fallout? Because it's not on my list that I did it. Okay. So that's what I'm going to do.
No, but you did 3 Body Problem, and I think that's now playing on Netflix.
Oh, it is. The Chinese was released about 2 months ago, and then the new one just opened. The new one just started.
I don't understand.
Okay, it was a novel. China did their own series of it. And then D&D, the 2 guys that produced Game of Thrones, bought the rights, and they've been working for 2 years on doing an English version of it. And that's what just got released on Netflix or whatever.
Is it any good?
I haven't watched it.
What?
No, I don't have time for a new series. Jesus Christ. My lists are so freaking long right now. I still haven't
Oh
watched
my!
freaking Vampire.
I am watching The Ones Who Live, and it's on the fifth episode, and there's only six, and
Uh-huh.
it is great. I'm like seeing. I mean, at one point, I was like, "Are they going to have them on here a lot?" Because it is Rick and Michonne's show. They need to be on here. And sure enough, man, like the last couple of episodes, it's just them. It's great. Great, great, great.
Yeah, the only headline I saw on that was they killed off somebody. So it'll be
They
interesting.
killed, well, I guess this is a spoiler if this is out there for a bonus episode, but it won't air till late this summer. They killed Jadis. Jadis is the one, her real name is Anne. She's the junk heap woman. I don't know if you ever got far enough in the series to know about her. She was fucking weird and very dangerous. And she is the one that snatched Rick's body when the bridge blew up and took him off to the CRM up in somewhere in New Jersey, I think.
All right. All right.
And she's a bitch, and she wants Rick to stay in the CRM, which is their little army of this city. And Michonne finds him, and then he tells her she needs to go back. He has to stay because if he doesn't stay, Anne will tell them about Alexandria, and they will destroy their settlement, their family, and everything. And Michonne's like, bitch, I didn't come all this way to go back home without you. Basically, in so many words. So she convinces him to leave. They both escape because it's hard to get out of there. That's where Terry Quinn has the army. And Anne / Jadis follows them. And in the episode I watched last night, you think she's going to capture them, and she ends up getting killed. So I was like, wow, that's a major character kill. That's pretty cool. But also what was cool about it is they brought another character back from The Walking Dead. They brought Father Gabriel back to do flashback scenes with Jadis. Because apparently
That's kind of cool.
It was very cool because Jadis has been going there and meeting him on one day every year ever since everything has transpired for 8 years. So it was basically her going and meeting with him for like a confession almost. Yeah, it was good. It was really good because they have a history. If you watch the series, you'd know that. But so yeah, I was psyched, man, and I'm still psyched. And I have a feeling that the series is not going to end. So there's got to be a season 2 because it looks to me like there's no way they could end it in the 6th episode with what they're planning. Or what Rick and Michonne are planning, because they're going to go back now because Jadis told them that there's a dossier hidden that if it's found, Alexandria will be destroyed. So they have to go back and get that to prevent any damage happening to their friends and family. But Rick also wants to go back and overturn things, of course.
Of course.
And Michonne's right on board with him.
Yes.
But I don't know how. I mean, it seems like an impossible task because this is basically a city. How do you overturn a city and an army? We'll see. It's Rick and Michonne. They can do anything.
Yeah, that's right.
They're the ones who live.
The ones who live. Yes.
Yeah. That's a play on something he said a long time ago. Anyway, so I'm psyched about it. But the reason I brought it up is that AMC is fucking pumping the Interview with the Vampire ads out now. I guess they realized that the witch thing needs to get swept under the carpet, and they're going full force with the vampires.
The witch thing?
They did a series based on the Witching Hour, the Anne Rice witch books.
Oh. Okay.
They did the first season. I told you about this. I know I did.
I'm sure you did.
They did the first series back in, I think it was December. Yeah. And it was terrible. They totally fucked it up. The casting's not great. The story's been rewritten. I'm like, why are you fucking with this? You had gold and you ruined it. But thankfully, they have not ruined the vampires. So
Okay.
And it looks like the second half of the book. It clearly takes place in Paris. There's clearly a theater of vampires. Armand is already a character in it because he's in modern day as well. A lot of it's told through flashback. So, like the
But
book.
so, but there's a, okay, help me remember the original again because there's a, this series, it updates, it
It resets the time. It's set about 60 years later after the Civil War. That's why Louis is black.
yeah, so
And
it's set in like the 1930s or something, right? 20s, 30s?
yeah. It's like
Okay.
like 1910 or so, I think.
Okay.
I don't know. It's definitely far enough past the Civil War that you could have an African American business owner in New Orleans,
Yeah. Yeah.
and they get
That's
past
pretty
all
well
this.
after.
Yeah, I mean, they get past all the slavery shit.
Okay.
They portray New Orleans as a very multicultural district because there's like French and Cajun and African
Of course.
American and white and everything. That all works. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that at all. And they basically broke the book in half because the first series ended with them killing Lestat and running away to Paris.
Okay.
And now this is going to be set in Paris, and of course, Lestat's going to return, and I'm assuming it'll end with the death of Claudia, but I don't know if they're going to go that far or not. Surely they will,
Okay.
because I mean, 2 series is enough to do that first book, I think.
Okay.
And I don't know how they'll do Lestat if they keep going with him being a rock star and stuff. Maybe they'll make him in like a synth band or something. Who knows? Have you read Lestat?
No, never read this.
At the end of interview, he goes underground and goes dormant for a while, and he wakes up hearing loud music, and it's like 1987, and
he becomes like a rock star.
He becomes a rock star. Exactly.
Yeah. Cool idea. I mean, that's really great.
Well, his voice is so sonic that he ends up drawing the attention of Akasha, who is long asleep. She's the queen of the Dan.
Okay.
She's back from like Egyptian times. So I don't know. It's a lot. But I'm into it, and I hope they keep going. So.
Oh, dude, last week I edited King Kong, and I had mislabeled 2 files. So I started the edit, did my processing, did my filtering, did all my stuff. I'm halfway through it, and suddenly it's a totally different. I'm talking about a totally different episode because I can't sync it up with you, and something's happening. I'm going, wait, this doesn't work. Why are we not syncing? We always sync. Blah blah blah. I didn't realize my file that was labeled Kong Horton was not Kong. It was one of the other episodes or something.
That's hilarious.
And I went, what the hell is happening? I finally found it. And then that was also the one where we finished one day and we came back the next morning, remember, to finish it. So I had to butt those together and edit it and switch it. And it was fun.
Yeah, I just got through editing promos for The Road and X, and those were the 2 where my internet was going out and I was freezing up, but my voice was not freezing up. So you were seeing like a still image of me, and yet I'm still talking. And I was so pissed off because this was when I was having all the cable problems. Now here lately, knock on wood, we haven't had them. But yeah, so that's funny. You were having some issues and I was having issues as well. Because I mean, I can't take a good soundbite clip from a still image of me. That would look stupid.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's go ahead and plan on that. I'll do Quiet Place Day 1, which I don't know if you've seen that trailer. It looks great.
I think I saw the teaser of it, but it was only like 30 seconds. So I have not seen the trailer yet. No.
It is Lupita Nyong'o and Jamon Henson, whatever, however you say his name, Jamon something. And Krasinski like produced it and wrote it or whatever, but it's a prequel and it's about the day the invasion. It looks like a great War of the Worlds movie is what it looks like.
Okay.
with all them just landing and just obliterating the city and people not realizing that they're being loud and that's what attracts them or what. But I figure if Lupita's on board, it must be pretty good. And Krasinski's still a part of it. So, but I don't think it's going to have any of the characters from the first two movies. You never saw the second one, did you?
No.
Because it was good too. I mean, I have not been disappointed with these movies at all.
And
So
Krasinski's done all of them, right, though? Didn't he direct the second one too?
Yeah, and I think he wrote them, or at least had a hand
Yeah, he did write
it.
the original. I don't know about the second one, but I know he wrote and directed and starred in the first one.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to it, and I like the fact that they're doing a prequel with new characters and not focusing on the same family. Hopefully, I mean they may end up showing that family. I don't know, but they don't in the trailer. It looks to me like it's a vehicle for how do you say his name? Jaman, the guy from Amistad, the Spielberg movie.
Oh yeah, I know who you're
Jaman
talking about.
Hensu, isn't it Hensu?
I think maybe. I don't know. Honestly.
And Lupita Nyong'o is in it as well, and I love her. I absolutely adore her, and she does a lot of genre stuff. So I really like her for that reason.
Three, two,
one, two, because I looked right before we got on here about 15 minutes ago, and there are two horror movies coming out in May, and neither one of them strike my fancy. One of them is called Tarot, and it's like a British horror movie about tarot cards, and I watched the trailer, and all it had in it was cliche jump scares.
Okay. You froze. Are you frozen? You be frozen.
So
now you're slowly coming back, but not good.
in June, if you're not crazy about yours and you want to do one, oh, my internet's unstable. What the fuck? It was fine a while ago. I had high speed.
You just froze up really bad.
I had high speed a while ago and everything. I don't know what's going. Oh, you know what? Dennis is on a call. Great. The other movie I was talking about is The Watchers Day One. Did you hear me say that?
Yeah, The Watchers with Dakota Fanning. Froze again, though.
I did?
Yep. Just now.
No.
I got the video, man. I approve it. Shoot.
Did you watch anything in the last couple of weeks?
No.
No? You just stared at the walls?
No. The only thing I've done is I started Fallout, but I'm not finished, so I can't mention it.
A lot of people like it.
Finished. It's really good. If you like the games, or if you like Nolan and Joy, it's really good.
It looks like Buckaroo Banzai to me. I'm like, oh, are you sure?
No, if you go under the, it's that, what do they call it? Retro future tech. So picture the 50s, but you have nuclear fission that you have at home, like in your stove and everything else, little my baby nuclear reactors, and you have these forms of butler robots. That's the tech that is in the 50s. And you also have government-sanctioned fallout shelters because everybody's afraid of nuclear war. And nuclear war happens. And then the series and all the games is set like 200 years in the future, when generations later people come out of the fallout shelters. And what do they find in the wasteland up above? So you have to go with.
But isn't there like a Red Skull cowboy in it?
He's one of the mutants, one of the super mutants. Yeah. But yeah, so you've got cockroaches like the size of terriers, and you've got giant scorpions, and then you've got all of these civilizations like Mad Max, where you've got these enclaves of people that have their own deal. Like one of them is a big religious commune and they believe in the goodness of man. The other one are cannibals. And you're trying to, it's really good. You'd really like it, I think. You just have to give with the aesthetic of it, which is this retro 50s deal. Like all the music sounds like 40s and 50s music. And you have Nuka-Cola and stuff. So you got all these, which is their version of Pepsi-Cola or Coca-Cola. And computers are extraordinarily primitive with like green screens and DOS and stuff like that. It's really
strange.
So the aesthetic of the technology is interesting. But once you get over that, the storytelling is really good.
Okay.
But
well, it should be if it's those two. But the thing is they'll skip out after the first season and then it'll tank.
And then it'll tank. Yeah. Well, it got renewed for the second season before it even premiered. So it's already got a second season done. The first two episodes were really strong.
But are the Nolans going to stick with it or just bail?
I don't know. I know they have a 3-series contract with Amazon, and this is the second one.
Right.
So they may screw it up or leave. Westworld it, as we say.
Ooh. Well, if you'd watched Barbie, you could talk about Barbie. I was shocked that there was not a gay plot line in it, and there's not. I mean, I thought this movie's ripe to have at least a gay side character, and there wasn't one.
Or a drag queen or something. I mean, it's a dolls. These are dolls, for God's sake. So
it does go into the history a little bit. Rhea Perlman plays the inventor of Barbie.
Oh, okay.
And she is great. She's really good in it. I've never seen her play drama, I don't think, and she's good in it. I
have no interest in seeing it.
And Helen Mirren narrates it. But
I mean, America, what is it?
America Ferrera. She's great. She is great, and the girl who plays her daughter's great. I mean, it's got a good message. It really does. But the whole time I was watching it, I was like, "Oh my God, this is a science fiction film! It really is a science fiction film."
Okay, now
and how like she can exist in both worlds, and they literally say there is a crack in the time barrier continuum or whatever. And that is why this is happening, and the worlds are merging and things. And I was like, I'm going to tell David, this is a fucking science fiction movie.
Okay.
So you better watch it. Watch it with your daughter.
Okay. I know all the girls got together to see it, so I think they watched it all. They all went over to Ashley and Rocky's, and Ashley, Barbara, and Autumn, who was in Virginia, they all watched it at the same time. So I think they streamed it together like a stream party. But yeah, so
I didn't expect the flip side of it. It's very empowering for women because Barbie Land, the women are all in control and everything. But then when they get to the real world, Ken realizes, oh wait, the men are in charge here. So it's like, what do we do when these two opposite, worlds meet? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And Mattel obviously liked it because their name's all over
it. Okay. I'm just going to cobble mine. So we'll see.
You're going to what?
I'm just going to.
You're going to make shoes?
Make shut up. No. You're going to make shoes? Okay. So I'll count us in. 3, 2,
1.
You can't start the car. Johnny has the key.